Desert Bus. What is Desert Bus? Well, allow me to enlighten you. Way back in the Mesozoic era that was also known as 1995, a little company known as Absolute Entertainment was tasked with making a game for Penn and Teller. Yes, that Penn and Teller. Now, the interesting part about this is that Penn and Teller themselves would actually have a hand in the development of the game, as opposed to somebody walking into a game development office and going, "Here's a suck of money, make a video game with my face on it, bitch," and then leaving. In the end, what they came up with was basically a collection of mini games that, if you know Penn and Teller, you can pretty much guess where most of these are going. Games that make no sense, games you can't win, games where inexplicable shit is happening. One of the really cool things about this collection, though, was upon choosing one of the minigames, you'd actually be greeted with an intro from Penn and Teller themselves explaining what the fuck it is that you were about to experience. Kind of like this.
Hi, I'm Penn Gillette, and this is my partner, Teller. Welcome to our video game, Penn and Teller's Smoke and Mirrors. This is Absolute Entertainment's top secret Ultramat testing center, where Teller and I have spent the last year or so. We've been holed up in here designing, drawing, and programming every single aspect of this game all by our lonesomes. Now, if you know anything at all about Penn and Teller, you'll know this isn't going to be your typical shoot 'em, kick 'em, jump 'em video game. So if you're, let's say, looking to goof around with short immigrant piping engineers with lots of facial hair, or some hyperactive nocturnal insectivorous mammal, or a couple of guys pounding each other's brains out. That's it. Yeah, get him, get him, get him. Come on, go, pound that sucker. Yeah, chest move. Finish him. Death move, death move, death move, death move, death move, death move. Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! The winner and still champion. I will be back to kill again.
Honestly, though, this game is worth a look just based on these Penn and Teller cutscenes alone. And you can bet when I finally get a Sega CD, I'm going to get this game up and running so I can finally see what it feels like to play this game with a Genesis controller, because why not? Ultimately, though, the game would result in little more than a bizarre experiment in interactive entertainment. Now, before the world would get the chance to experience this experiment, unfortunately, Absolute Entertainment would go out of business and not be able to publish the title. So the game would go unnoticed for many years until the advent of the modern internet and emulators. So what would come of the world finally getting to play this bizarre little game that was originally meant for the Sega CD years after its release, basically a time capsule of the 90s? Well, of course, the internet would happen, as it always does, and it would discover quite possibly the best and most bizarre of the things included in this game. That would be Desert Bus. This returns me to my question from the opening of the video. What is Desert Bus? Well, I could explain it to you, but why not have Penn and Teller themselves show you what Desert Bus is?
You've played simulators before. We all have. Tanks, planes, race cars, submarines, hedgehogs. Heck, Absolute's even put out a few of them themselves. But let's face it, how many of us are ever actually going to use these valuable skills in our everyday lives? Sure, I guess there's a chance you'll be on a major commercial airliner and have to take over for an unconscious pilot, or maybe after all those years of expensive schooling your parents worked so hard to put you through, you'll decide to chuck it all to enter the Indianapolis 500. It could happen. But for most of us, the chances are slim to none. Teller and I want to prepare you for the real world. We want to show you what life is really like. Desert Bus is the first in our line of what we like to call Vera simulators, games stupefyingly like reality. 360 miles from Tucson, AZ to Las Vegas, NV. 45 miles per hour maximum. Teller! 8 hours if you do it right. Don't let go of the controller and watch that little pull to the right. It's not glamorous. It's not pretty. It's not exciting. It's real. Oh, and check your manual for details on our desert bus contest. Wow. Just watching Teller race through that dry, sandy, endless desert sure does leave me parched. Hey, oh, don't go to the controller. Not let. You don't wait. You don't want 4 hours of hard driving to go right down the drain, do you? No. Besides, I wouldn't drink too much water if I were you. It's 200 miles to the next rest area. Desert bus.
And that's actually the entire thing. In Desert Bus, you get in a bus, you drive through the desert. There is no stopping. There are no objectives. There is nobody to talk to. There are no NPCs. There are no goals. The only thing is, you drive one way, you get 1 point. You turn around, you go back the other way, you get another point. It's basically a fucking endurance test, and it is the most beautiful endurance test known to man. Now, at this point, I know what you're thinking. Come on, Biscuit. It cannot be just getting in a bus and driving. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? You bored yet? All right, I'll wait. Noticing anything to do at all aside from driving forward? No, you're not, because that's Desert Bus. You drive forward. It's the most fucking ridiculous thing in the world, yet it's fucking mesmerizing. Just look at it. You can't look away. It's like a fucking train wreck. Once you start watching this, you have to keep watching. You have to see what's at the end of the road. You know there's not going to be a checkpoint. You know there's not going to be a goal. You know there's going to be nothing. But you keep watching that in hope there might be something. Anything that happens, yeah, you did a good job. Nope. Nope. And here is the best part of all, if you ask me. See those little darker brown strips on the sides of the road? Well, what do you think happens if, for some reason, you fall asleep at the controller because you've been playing this for 16 fucking hours, and you just drift over to the side for too long? What do you think happens? You, sir, have just broken your desert bus. You lose. Good day, sir. You can't do anything. You're stuck on the side of the road. Bus is broken because you tried to go ATVing with a fucking bus, and now you're stuck. So what do? Well, listen. That sound familiar to you at all? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a tow truck. It tows you back to the fucking beginning of the road. There is no beginning and there is no end. There is only Desert Bus. So the only question remaining now is, why did I feel I needed to come to you guys today and explain to you what a desert bus was, where it came from, and what the object of it is? Well, the answer to that is quite simple and glorious, if I do say so myself. As of yesterday, January 12th, 2016, Penn Jillette himself announced that they are remaking Desert Bus into a virtual reality title. You cannot make this shit up. This game has been resurrected from the grave. Now, when I first heard this news, I immediately thought to myself, really? Desert Bus? Is it all that interesting? I mean, I had heard about it before, but I never actually played it. So then I went and played it to get footage for this video. And let me tell you, after I went and actually played Desert Bus, you don't understand Desert Bus until you board the bus. Now, up to this point, I've had zero interest in things like the Oculus Rift, the virtual reality headsets. I've never cared about 3D. I don't own a 3D TV. I have a regular non-3D HD TV. And after a few days ago, when the pre-orders for the Oculus went live and we were all treated to the fact that the thing was going to cost $600 I had negative interest in the headset. However, Desert Bus makes me at least want to give the thing a fucking go, because it's Desert Bus. There is a bright side, though. The quote reads, it'll probably be on the Oculus and the PlayStation VR, which, if there is a video game god out there, the PlayStation VR will be cheaper, and I will buy that thing just to play Desert Bus and somehow find a way to capture it and show the world. Because it's fucking Desert Bus.